first and foremost, just the fact that when you inherit a room that Scotty Montgomery has put together as far as the level of consistency. The guys in the room have a standard and the expectation to do really well, and so it's easy. It's sort of easy to get around guys that want to be coached. And like just to be here this short period of time that I've been here, to have a chance to do OTAs, get a chance to be in the meeting room with the guys, and I'm familiar with Ja, and having a chance to be around Demo to see him move, and also Vaki, and also Craig Reynolds and Ty and Kai. Like, it's been cool because the guys want to be coached. And for me, coming into a room that you inherit where the guys have held a standard and the expectation, where Scotty have done a hell of a job with them, you have to try to find every single avenue to coach them to get better, because that's the job that I have to do. It's just a point where the group is so solid, and every little detail, every little knick-knack, I'm picking at it. And for them to hear it and not get mad at me or hear it and not want to listen, but hear it and be coachable and actually try to do it and perform on the football field has been tremendous. So I hold a lot of respect, for Scotty, the players in that room, and then more importantly, man, you can see how cool they are in the meeting room. They care about each other. If somebody don't do something right, they tell each other. So I have a lot of coaches on the football field that know how to do things the right way. It's pretty cool. Yeah, he way better than I was. I can tell you that much. It's funny, man. I said I could sit here and, to be honest with you, I could sit here and tell you the truth. When I saw Ja first play in person, me and my friend go up to a game, and he ran the first run, and my friend just did me like this in the crowd, like, get out of here. And I kept looking at other running backs. He's like, nah. None of them better than him. And so having a chance to watch him from afar for these last 3 years, and every single week because of Shep and because of Ja, I kept wanting to watch the Lions games and to see him progress, to see how smart he is. I always, I tell him he's one of the smartest running backs I've ever coached. He's just a natural football player. You tell him something, he understands it, he gets it right now. You don't have to coach him over and over again on football stuff. It's easy to him. And so having an opportunity to get around him now, coaching, I'm going to be harder on him even more. The same way, like I tell him all day, like, zero, he can't do anything right on the field. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I love. Same thing with David Montgomery. Like, when they're on the football field, they're the player, not the person. I'm coaching them to get better. When they off the field, I try to get used to them as a person, to see what makes them go, what makes them tick. And a lot of them I understand, Ja, of course, I have a relationship with. But it's the same thing with Demo, it's the same thing with Craig and Vaki, because they got to know that first I care about them more than the game. And if you get players to understand that, it's about your actions, not about what you say, it's about what you do. And so it's been pretty cool to be around him. But for him, the sky's the limit. I'm going to push him. I'm going to push him like no other, though. I have to.
What was it about him? Because I talked to his high school coach and then Brent Key at Georgia Tech, and they both said you were always the guy that was saying, this guy's a running back. Don't move him to DB. Don't do nothing like that. What was it about him?
It's one thing, I'm thankful that I had guys when I interned, when I coached, I got around dudes that was able to teach me characteristics, things to look for, movement, and when you see it. And it's like, when you see a running back and he's a dude, it don't take you long. It ain't like you got to watch a movie and it's the Titanic and you got to wait till the water come. This thing right off the top, when it's coming. So it's like, when I saw him, you knew it. The schools that wanted him as a DB, I was so happy I ain't have to go against them. I'm at Georgia Tech, I ain't have to recruit against them. But to understand, to see it, when guys move and you can just see how he worked. And the fact that he could play DB let you know his movement. We put him on punt team, he could be a gunner. I saw it at Georgia Tech. He was really, really good athlete, and he just loved football. But when you watched him, his ability to make people miss, to see the field, to make the second and third defender miss without even looking at him. Those are qualities I learned from people in organizations of, high-ranking people that recruit and draft guys. And I sat down when I was with the Cowboys. I had to sit down and learn how to look at each individual player and even my own self. Why wasn't I drafted as high? Why was this guy drafted? It makes you think more about yourself. And so learning to see what, the characteristics, it was easy for me with Ja. That's my dog. I call him Shep Dog, a.k.a. Bruce Leroy. That's my buddy. It's funny, man. I tell y'all this, man. Y'all don't understand how close we really are, and it's so cool because I talk to Shep every day, even when I was, you know what I mean, at Texas or at Georgia Tech. I talk to Shep every single day. So to see his journey on the coaching, when he got into coaching, because he got into coaching after I did, and to see him and to have an opportunity to come up here, and Coach Campbell give him an opportunity to come up here to coach Detroit, and just watching him as a linebackers coach and now watching him as a defensive coordinator, you can see his intent. You can see his development as a football coach. And me from afar, you love to see that. And so that's one of the things that drew me in here, because I seen one of my closest friends who start from ground zero to see where he's at right now. It's the coolest thing alive, man. And so I'm excited for him because I know how he's built, and I know what he wants to prove for himself. You know what I mean? I know how good he relates to the players and the coaches, and everybody loves Shep, dog. So it's pretty cool to watch him, man. That's my buddy. We both from Atlanta, played with the Bills, played with the coach together. We talk every single day, and so you build a relationship with guys, and that's one of my dudes that I'm really, really locked in. He like family to me. You mentioned that I was trying to get into broadcasting. I was doing like radio, you know what I mean, about to do TV. And I realized how hard it is, what y'all do. I got a lot of respect for you. The amount of knowledge that you're supposed to have, the amount of studying that you do have. Like, I have respect for people that do things at a high level. It's just how I am now, because I know how hard it is to do a different field and play the game of football. And so I'm doing media, and then John Kittner, who's one of my mentors, in summer they couldn't coach the team on 7-on-7. So I said, okay. He said, man, why don't you come out and coach my team on 7-on-7. I go the first day, and the first day I get there, I tell one of the kids, I say, man, my coach used to tell me to work on something once a day. Pick a part of my game to get better at. And so he was like, all right. And so the next week, Kittner said, man, they loved you. The kids loved you being out there. Could you come again next week? And I came out next week, and that kid found me. As soon as I came to the field, he was like, Coach. He's like, I'm going to work on catching the ball all the way in. That kid ended up being Jalen Rager, first-round draft pick. And so lit up. And it's hard because a lot of coaches tell you, hey, man, don't coach unless you really want to, because it's strenuous. You're not around your family. You travel a lot. But, man, to be a servant to kids and starting in high school where you're working for free, to really see if you really want to develop and have to develop kids to even get the ball a certain way, the handoff a certain way. It struck me, and since that day I've been bitten. Like I'm sick to my how I am as a coach, because every time I watch a run, I see the negative parts of it. And when I watch games, I'm always getting on them about little things. They can rush for 200 and some yards, and when they come in there with me, it's gonna be like, oh man. Because it's how it is. I always was taught, don't think so highly of yourself. Praise and criticism, you treat them the same. You value neither nor. And so I learned that as a young football player. So I try to keep my players like that, to keep them humble. And I had a good group of kids that I've coached, and now being here, man, it's been a blessing, to be honest with you. One thing, it's funny, when you become a football player to a coach, you learn a lot about self-discipline by doing things when nobody's watching. And it's probably the strongest form of self-love you can have is by disciplining your own self of bad habits or doing things the right way when nobody's watching. The one thing, me and Shep, we hold each other accountable to that. If he's not doing something or he's doing something great, it just pushed me to do more, and vice versa. And then if I'm wrong, he'll tell me, and it's crazy when you got somebody you care about that know all they're trying to do is just get you better. When they say something to you, it's not negative. Same way when Scotty Montgomery, I sit up here, and every single day I'm learning to be an NFL football coach. It's not a detail he's going to coach me on, go over with me. Every single day, the whole staff, Hank, I mean, it's Coach Johnny Moe, Coach Shaw, everybody, Brew. It's so cool. Self, I don't want to leave any of them boys out. Steve-O, it's so cool to be around them because they're so smart to me. And for me to be here to learn, because I want to learn. My biggest thing is to grow and progress. I think that's the biggest thing I could do as a coach, is to get better every year, just like I was as a player. And so that's what I try to do, and it's been cool, to be honest with you. Oh, I'm going to talk trash. You're going to think we don't like each other. I may fight him, but it's all good. But it's all, it's funny, when you're in them lines, I hate them. I hate every defensive player on the team, but I love them at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's but you will see, that's how we are. That's the pushing part, because we know when the going gets tough, they gonna need that my players gonna want to feed off of me, and I'm gonna feed off of them, and he's the same way. So our characteristics on how we are with our players pretty similar. You know what? I'm very impressed by him right now. Having a chance to have him in OTAs, his quickness, his suddenness. He works extremely hard. I know how well he's done this last year on teams, talking to Phil a lot, and I'm back, having a chance to be with the returners and seeing him move and his movement and watching tape. But it's something God can play. And to me, I think he's still like putty where you can form him to be the player you want. But the fact that he has Demo, he has guys that do things the right way, he's in a position to really succeed. And him and Craig, how well they work together, it's going to be interesting to see how well he does because he has it in him. He has the speed, he has the quickness, and he has to tune some stuff in on his game. But the fact that he's coachable and he listens and then he works at it. And so for me, it's my job to get him better, and then it's his job to want to get better. And so it's like we got a real relationship with reciprocity. You know what I mean? And do you give as good as you get? And I think right now that's how we are. And so every single one of them, that's the whole thing. I'm gonna give you everything I got. Just give me the same. At the end of the day, I think we'll be fine. So I'm excited, fellas. Absolutely appreciate y'all.